So today we're gonna make some tostadas, and I'm gonna show you how to make them so good that you don't even miss meat. These are vegetarian tostadas, and I'm telling you, the way we build the flavors are going to surprise you. They're so delicious. So we start with the tostada, and then we're gonna put a nice refried beans on the bottom. Then we're gonna add in some fresh black beans, add in some avocado, some pickled veggies, some queso fresco. And then we're also gonna add in a little Mexican street corn and some cilantro on top. I'm telling you, once it all gets put together, you're not gonna stop yourself from eating this. So what we have here, we have some black beans. We've got some refried beans. I've got some tomatoes, some corn, some avocados, some onions, cilantro, some lime, 1 jalapeno, some garlic, a Mexican crema here, queso fresco, and the tostada itself. And then lastly, we have our special sauces. This chipotle sauce is gonna pair so nicely with this dish. This is really not a lot of ingredients. A lot of times you don't need a lot of ingredients to make really good food. You have to think about it as flavors and textures. So if you have the right textures and the right flavors and you're putting them together in the right way, you can create an absolute incredible meal. I'm gonna show you how to put this together. The first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna make our base. So this is very similar to a sofrito. What I'm using here is about 4 cloves of garlic, half an onion, some jalapenos, some cilantros, a little bit of olive oil, and then I'm gonna add some salt, some pepper, and then blend the whole thing. We're gonna use this sauce to season our refried beans and our black beans. They're gonna add a tremendous amount of flavor. Now to build our pico de gallo, we're gonna start with some red onions. I'm gonna use a red onion that's nicely diced. And then I'm gonna go in with about a half a cup or about a cup of cherry tomatoes, which I'm gonna cut up. Before I throw in the vegetables, I'm gonna combine juice from 1 lime, just a little splash of apple cider vinegar, some salt, mix that together, and then I'm gonna add in my tomato and my onion. I'm also gonna add in some fresh cilantro that I diced up, mix that up, cover it with some saran wrap, and throw that in the fridge to sit and to marinate as we prepare the rest of the dish. For our black beans, I'm gonna start with some oil, a little bit of red onion. I'm gonna cook that down for a few minutes. Then I'm gonna add in my sauce I made earlier, about a half a cup of that sauce. I'm gonna cook that down for 4 to 5 minutes. And then I can add in my black beans. This sauce, once it cooks down, adds a lot of flavor to the black beans, and pretty much you're done after that. You can let them cook, and once they start to boil, you can take them off the stove and you're good to go. For our refried beans, a very similar process. Start with the oil, the onion, and then I like to throw in a little bit of garlic to add that extra flavor. When I cook that down, I'm gonna add in again about half a cup of the sofrito, the sauce we made earlier, and then I like to cook it down a little longer to deepen that flavor. Then I go ahead and add in my refried beans and smash those down, cook it and stir it until the flavor is nicely incorporated. I cook that for about 3 to 4 minutes, and then I add in my queso fresco. That adds a little bit of creaminess to this beans. I cook that down for a while and keep stirring until I break down that queso fresco cheese. The Mexican street corn, I start with a package of corn, some queso fresco, Mexican crema, add in some lime juice, some smoked paprika, and then some chili powder. I stir that up, taste it. Maybe I'll add some salt if I need it, but that's pretty much it. Now you can pretty much prep your toppings. I like to cut a few limes, cut my avocado, get my queso fresco prepped. I'll also cut up some green onions and some cilantro for the top. This all goes together really well with this meal. When you have all these different toppings, they kind of elevate the flavor. So let's put this tostada together. You're gonna start with your tostada, then add in your refried beans, which functions as the base for this dish. Then you're gonna add in your black beans, which is a similar flavor profile, but you get a different texture with the black beans. The shrimp corn goes on top, which is creamy and actually adds a lot of sweetness to this dish. The pico adds that acidic flavor, and it's just fresh and kind of changes the whole dynamic of the meal. Then you add in your toppings. I go in with my avocado, queso fresco, the cilantro, and the green onions. And then I top it with our smoky chipotle sauce, which really brings this whole thing together. I'm telling you, these tostadas have so many layers to them and so many different flavors. And they all work together really well. This meal is a part of our Pantry First Method, where we try to use simple ingredients that you can find in your pantry. If you want to learn more about it, I have a link in the description where you can get access to a free PDF for this Pantry First Method. Please subscribe as well to learn more about the different sauces and different meals that we'll be making using this method.